Hello amazing leaders, and welcome to day 52 of the amazing 90-day challenge. We're continuing our Habits to Master mini-series. We're about halfway through, so only a few left to go now. And today's topic is turn things down. Now that might sound a bit strange, but let's go through it, and then hopefully by the end of this little podcast or social media video that you're watching, you'll be able to understand the importance behind turning things down. So do you feel like your life just gets busier and busier? When was the last time that you said no to someone or something new? Do you feel like people are just asking you all the time to do more and more and more, and you just can sometimes get overwhelmed by all the things that you've got to do? So let's look at how we can tackle some of that and then start to turn things down. First place to look at is your calendar. What activities are on there? Sometimes people just put things into your calendar without you kind of really appreciating what that's going to involve in you and your time. So let's have a look at what's coming up this next week or two and see what things are on there. Sometimes there's repeating things on there that are either just historic, and maybe you can say, actually, I don't need to go to those all the time or be involved in those all the time, or I don't actually enjoy those anymore. So can you review your calendar and make choices around the things that are coming up so that you've got your priorities in there, things that you really want to do, things that you love doing and that you're excited about, things that you don't want to miss out on. By doing that, you'll see how much time you actually have got for yourself, for your priorities, for your family, for the things that you really want to do. And you'll also see what is in there that actually isn't relevant anymore. And you might want to change that, ask somebody else to do it, or stop doing it altogether. Often with reviewing our calendars, there's multiple people involved in one sort of diary entry, as it were. So by you saying, especially if you are the amazing leader of your organisation, that we're going to stop doing that meeting every week, we're going to change it to once a month or once a fortnight or once a quarter, you're going to save time for other people as well. I challenge you really to think about, why do you need those meetings so regularly for certain things? Can you save time for everyone involved? If you've got 6 people around a meeting room table, whether it's virtual or a physical table, and you're in there for an hour, that's 6 hours that you've lost for that company, that organisation, unless something really good comes out of it. So you've got to ask yourself, every time we meet, is it worth the investment that this company is making for this 6 hours of the valuable time of the people that are in that room or on that Zoom call, so that you can really say, yes, this is something you definitely want to do moving forward, that we are happy with the investment we're making? Or is it, no, maybe not, maybe I need to change that and we need to do it in a less frequent time. So review your calendar, see what's on there, see what's not on there, and see what you can start to move or change or turn down and stop doing for a while. There's nothing to stop you from going back and adding it later on in life. If it doesn't work, if actually you do need to meet more regularly, you can always go back and change that as well. And that leads us nicely on to the next point. It is okay to change. You can try new things. You can stop doing things you've always done. You can start doing new things you've never done. Try and change every so often. I don't think you should change every day necessarily, but every so often you need to think about, what are we doing? Have we got ourselves in a rut here? And is it a good rut or a bad rut? And you've got to think about, even if you're in a good rut, that can't last forever doing the same thing over and over again. You think of how things have evolved over the years, especially the last 100 years even. It's done by people changing and exploring different things and trying new things, and that's through change. So embrace change, look forward to change. You be the leader of change in your organisation so that others can follow as well, and that they know it's okay to try something new, to stop doing old things that we've always done, and then to see what comes out of that. So it's okay to change. You're fine by doing that, and I'd actually encourage you to think about doing that more than you currently are now. Let's also look at creating a stop doing list rather than just a to-do list. A lot of us have a to-do list or a to-leverage list. If you're an amazing leader, you would put things down on your to-leverage list and see who the best person is to be able to tackle those tasks. It's not always you. You've got your strengths, but the other people around you, in your family, in your friends, in the other teams that you're a part of, your organisation, your businesses, look at who would be the best person to take on those tasks and try and leverage those out to those people. Not only will the task get done better, they'll also get done quicker, and you'll be able to give that person doing the task some real credibility behind what they're doing, because they're the best person that you know to be able to do that. So create a to leverage list, but also create a stop doing list. What do you want to stop doing? What are the things that you just don't enjoy anymore? And just think about it in all areas of your life. Again, we've got the same 24 hours in the day that everybody else has got. What are you doing with yours? And is there parts of it that you just don't want to do anymore? Again, you can change. You can go back to it. If it didn't work, you can always chop and change a little bit to see whether it's right or wrong. But create a stop doing list. And I'd almost go as far as to say is if you're going to add something more onto your own to-do list, you've got to then take something else off as well. It's a bit like giving a child a present or a new toy. There's only so many new toys that they can have, and when it gets to a certain stage, then you've got to make a decision that if you're going to have this new thing, what are you going to give up in replacement of it? Otherwise, you're just going to have a room full of things, and then you're not actually going to be able to play with any of those toys. And it's similar for us when we get to adults. We can't do everything. We can't say yes to everything and expect it all to be okay. So I'd encourage you to create a stop doing list. And if you're going to add something to onto your to-do list, then take it something else off as well. And I want you to feel empowered when you say no to things. It's okay, really, it's fine. The world won't stop if you say no to something. And I think some of you really need to hear that today. You're such a people-pleasing person that you don't like to say no to somebody. But if you think about it, the biggest and sort of most empowered people in the world that we have today, they can't do everything. They don't do everything. And actually what they do is focus on the time they have, on the good habits that we've been talking about, on their best time when they're at their peak. They focus on the most important tasks. So by doing that, they've got to say no to loads of things. You think about a president of a country or prime minister of a country or royalty. Again, all the things they must say no to because they can't do everything that's asked of them. But then you think of them as well that actually their time is so valuable and it's so desired because they're able to say no to certain things that they end up doing the things that are most important or seem to be most important as well. So I want you to feel empowered to say no. When was the last time you said no to somebody? Again, don't be rude about it. Just say no because I'm too busy or I've got these other things on, but how about you try this or ask this person or do something this way or do it yourself. So honestly, it's okay to say no and to turn things down. Also, by doing these things, it will set a great example to those that you lead. Because if you're an amazing leader that just says yes to everything and then gets burnt out and overwhelmed, what example is that setting to those around you? Especially if that's at home as well, to your children, your family, that you're constantly out doing things all the time. That's not the best example of the life you want them to lead. So think about what example you're leading by saying yes to the things that you're saying yes to and no to the things that you're going to start saying no to as well. Because then that will set a great environment for people to be able to follow that as well, and they'll follow your lead on that. At the end of the day, you can choose how you want to live your life and what you want to do with it. So try today to turn some things down so that you can live a more fulfilled and better life than you currently are now. So I hope that's helpful. I hope you'll have an amazing day. And remember, why be average when you can be amazing?